Well, hello man cavers, and how are you today? What are we going to be doing? Well, I've got the bonnet up on the wheel horse, got the fuel tank removed, and we're going to take this starter motor off, which is right here, and see if we can get that working, and see if that'll actually turn by hand. It's not looking good. Alright, roll the credits, and we will be back. Welcome to the man cave. Let the games begin. So, here we are with our starter motor. Can we get any turn out of this? This piece at the bottom is part of the starter. That should turn. Nothing. Do the Bendix turn. Yeah, the Bendix come up and down. It don't spring back down on its own. Yeah, this is not brilliant. Right, I think we need to get the starter right off. Get it on the bench and have a good look at it. And just see what's going on. So we need an 11mm here. I'm not worried about starter wire because I don't think that solenoid works either. So this wire's not live even though there is a battery on it. Alright, yeah. I have a bit more info on this. After the last video, the guy I bought this off, he actually called me up. Adam, he said, I hadn't started or used that for 14 months and he's owned it 9 years. And he said in the 9 years he's owned it, he has done nothing to it, apart from put petrol in it. He hasn't changed the oil, he hasn't done anything in 9 years. So the poor old girl is going to need a little bit of attention. Right, that's the same bracket, hold the tank strap, hold the starter. So let me get in here. Sometimes they have screw heads in the end of them nuts to make them easier. Because I'm not sure. Is that even coming? Or is that? No, that's coming. Because they're a bit of a job to get a socket in because you can't get square onto the one this side. Well, they're coming undone nice actually. There we go. One more bolt and that and the tank bracket will come off. There we go. Alright, we can get the starter on the bench. He's off. We can get him on the bench. There we go. And see if we can get that working and get it all freed up. So the gears on the Bendix actually look alright, so it's just a case of freeing this starter up. There we are. Right. Let's get into the shed and have a look at the starter. Right folks, here's our starter back in the shed. I think the first thing we need to do is get gloved up because this could be a dirty job. Right, we need to free this starter. Now, the guy who I bought it off said that he had this 9 years and he said he never even put a battery on it. In all that time, he's always pull started it. So, yeah. If this starter hasn't been used for 10 years and I think the mower was kept outside, I think we've got a bit of work to do. What I like to do with these, my jaw and my voice is broken, look. What I like to do with these starters initially, before I start poking them, is I like to just get these two, or one of these bolts right out and then squirt a load of WD-40 in. You cannot get to this end cap to oil that. You cannot get to this end cap very well to oil it inside. If you take one of these bolts out, not two, just one, if you take them both out, and the whole starter fall to bits, brushes come out, and you're in a nightmare. We just want to get some oil inside this starter. So we can take this bolt out, which goes all the way through, and then we can put a bit of WD in this end and a bit in that end, give her a swish about, and then we'll try and free this off, because that is, cool, that is stiff. But I'm sure it will come right. I'm sure of it. And there are usually 2 flats on there, allowing you to get these bolts out, and there isn't. So it looks like this could be a spanner job. And it's undoing and not ringing off. That's always a good sign. Luckily, the threads don't go through much, so you only got sort of 4 or 5 threads to contend with. And then that'll just pop right out. After you've dropped your spanner 101 times. With regards to the Bonzer, I'm going to answer some questions here, guys. Thank you very much for all your comments and interest in the Bonzer, and indeed in this on this wheel horse. But several of you have been asking about the Bonzer exhaust. Why haven't I cut the hole in the back yet? Well, I'll tell you why. Because ideally, I would like to take that original exhaust off and run a pipe out of the engine down so it comes out underneath the mower, underneath the truck, and then put a little silencer in there. Come on, there we go. There we go. Yeah, and put a little silencer in there, and that'll make it nice and quiet, and I won't have to go cutting holes. So we'll just fill this starter up with some WD. I'm putting a liberal dose in there. There we are. Now if we swish him about a bit. That's starting to come out the bottom. We just want to get some oil around this bottom bearing. There. Alright, we have swished. Now we need to see if we can get this starter to turn. Alright, this Bendix gear, let's just give that some lubrication. That is disgusting. I'll get one of my nylon brushes on here as well and just clean this lot up here. That's disgusting. The whole lot of it is. So we'll clean this Bendix gear up with a nylon wheel and just see if we can get that sorted. And we'll put a bit heavier oil on there. There we go. There you go. That's the Bendix. There's no spring on them Bendix, so that is right. That is how they go, but that's nice and free now. Now we've got to get this free. So more WD, liberal amounts. And then I'm going to want some channel lock pliers, guys. Which are here. And see if we can grab this and get it to turn. Cool. It's starting. There you go. There you go. She was tight. So that old starter was very tight. It still isn't the best, but I'm hoping we can get her free. Alright, I still can't quite turn that by hand. We could cheat and put our battery on it and see if that'll spin up a battery. If it do, that'll do a lot of hard work for us. So let me get a couple of leads on here. We'll get a plus on there Don't let them touch. A plus on there. Have we got everything? I think my leads are sketchy. No, we've got something. Alright, let's earth this out. Nope. Nope. This poor old starter isn't going to attempt to go yet. Because I say, she's way too stiff. Let me get a bit more down the hole. Because for all I know, this starter motor could be a block of rust inside. It really could be a block of rust in here and unsavable. But before we pull it to pieces all together, oh yes, we're starting to get rust out of this bottom bearing, look. So that WD-40 is penetrating itself through there. That is most excellent. Right. We might have to just leave this to soak overnight. I'm going to get this bolt back in just in case that decides to fly apart one side. It shouldn't do. But you do never know, dear. You never know. I say, we've certainly injected all the WD-40 in there that we're going to. Alright, she's tightening up. Alright. Oh, you should be able to turn these by hand. And I can't. Let me go work on this for a bit. And then we'll try and see what's going on. It's a shame there wasn't a nut on the top there so we could put it on a drill. So let me have a few minutes messing around doing this. And then we'll be back. This is a job on. Right, it's been a couple more minutes and I've now got this starter to just about turn by hand. So let's see if we can get it to work now, or is it going to spark? Ah! Go on, go on, go on, girl. Go on. There you go, she's starting to turn. My battery lead is getting hot, she's drawing a lot of power. But it's turning. You know, I think I've got a problem with these battery leads. I really think I've got a problem with this battery lead, you know. Yep. I've started this. I had problems with this lead before. I think I might have to take these leads apart, you know, so I don't know whether we're getting good enough joint. I think this end is a problem. Yeah, these are definitely playing up, these leads. Getting nothing out of it now, look. I know that's not the best battery, but we should still have a spark. Oh, that starter motor, look at that. Spins on its own now. There you go. See how that starts turning now? And I also admit this battery I'm using here is very low because we ran it down on that inverter. Yeah, this starter motor is as good as that's going to get. It's not crunchy. It's turning smoothly. Yeah, it's turning smoothly with no crunchiness. Yeah, she's alright. So, our starter motor has been brought back around, guys. There we go. And can you hear that weather? It's just started piddling down with rain. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little bit fed up with the rain. Of course, that stops play outside. And I'm at home now, so I've got no room inside here to be getting a ride on lawnmower. So the little wheelie horse is going to have to sit outside, and this is going to have to stay in here until we're good and ready. Alright, another thing we need to do, clean this battery connection up, which is actually looking pretty good as it is. So using a brass wheel, we'll just get that clean. There we go. There we are. Our earthing mount where it goes on the engine. Give them a clean. If you guys can even see what I'm doing here. Because your starter motor earths to your engine via these two bolts. So these need to be nice and clean. There. And there we go. Just give the body of our starter a clean up. This is purely cosmetic, I know, but maybe I'm just being belt and braces, I don't know. I like everything to look better. Oh, there you go. That starter motor now, look, that is literally spinning on its own. And if you can hear that, it's silent. There's no crunchy. Trust me, there's no grittiness in that. It was purely just a bit seized up. And now we've got all the WD-40. Look how that bottom bearing has come now. All that rust has come out of here. I mean, guys, it's a starter motor, you know. It's not going to the moon. You're never going to see it. It just sits there and runs for a couple of seconds when you want to start it. So even if the bearings aren't very good in this starter, it's not going to hurt. It's not running for any extended length of time. You know, this will spin over for a couple of seconds while the engine starts, and that's it. Certainly not going to give you any trouble, but the bearings do feel smooth anyhow. So there we are. Right. Let's look at this stupid weather. Yep. It is now piddling down with rain. The cover has come off the villiers. I had that covered up. That's come off in the wind last night. Probably blew over the neighbour's hedge. So I shall have to cover him back up. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I think we've been rained off, guys. There we are. One Briggs and Stratton starter motor. Excellent. So that's it, guys. I'm going to go, and I'll speak to you next time when we'll get this starter back on there. Maybe later if the weather's clearing up a bit. And then we'll give it a go. Right, we'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye for now. Ah, Briggs and Stratton starter motor.